Hello and welcome, friends. My name's Ryan, the official host of Reddit Voice, and today we're going to be looking at some of the top stories from r/ProRevenge. Before we do, though, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest videos. AT&T tries to screw me over for $139, and I actually screw them out of $72,000. After my wife and I got married last year, we decided that we should both get on the same phone plan. We went down to the AT&T store and met up with a rep who told us we'd both be on an unlimited plan for $70 a month, all in, including taxes and fees. I was very specific about getting the all-in price for the service. It seemed like a decent deal, so we signed up. 2 days later, I log into the website and see that there's already a bill for $139. I call up a rep to see what's up, and they tell me that between the activation fees, taxes, and surcharges, the bill was correct. I told them what the salesperson told me, and they basically told me to pound sand. I promptly told them that I wanted to cancel the service and wanted the $139 waived. They said they could cancel the service, but would not waive the bill. They also told me if I canceled immediately, my wife and I would lose our phone numbers, which is true. So I figured since I already have to pay for the month and I don't want to lose my phone number, I will just get a new carrier and cancel when I'm ready. So I do my research and find Visible, which is excellent, and we make the switch. I call back to AT&T and inform them that we have switched carriers and now want to cancel the service. I again ask for a refund. The reps inform me that since I've had the service for 4 days that I'm not entitled to a refund. He tells me to read the fine print on the contract, which indeed tells me that I have 3 days to cancel for a full refund. I'm now fuming because the first CSR that I talked to on day 2 denied me a refund if I canceled. I asked for the next level of CSR and they sent me to a customer care and retention person. I explained the entire fiasco to him and how I feel that I've now been lied to twice by AT&T reps, sales rep, and the first CSR. He's a really cool guy and apologizes and says he'll take care of it and will completely waive the bill. I'm very thankful and hang up thinking it's finally resolved. Fast forward a month and I get an AT&T bill in the mail saying my payment was not received and is now late. I again pick up the phone and call AT&T. I eventually make my way through 2 CSR reps until I get back to the customer care and retention department. This time, I did not have the chill dude. Instead, I got a very smarmy woman who said that the bill was due and I'd owed the entire amount. I asked her to please check the CSR notes and that the last guy told me he would waive the amount. She put me on a 10-minute silence hold and came back and said she'd escalate the matter to her supervisor. She said I should receive an email by the end of the week. 2 weeks go by, no response. I call again, and this time I get a very nice lady that's sympathetic. She says she'd waive the bill. She comes back and tells me she can't do anything because the bill has already been sent to collections. She said not to worry about it and that she'll send a letter to collections to have them waive the debt. I ask if that'll go on my credit report and she says no, and that they'll take care of it. 6 months later, I get a letter in the mail from Sequium Asset Solutions out of Georgia trying to collect on the $139. I immediately send them a letter via certified mail demanding that I verify the debt, since it's obviously bad. I hear nothing for 2 months, and then I get an alert that I have a negative mark on my credit. I go in, and sure enough, Sequium has indicated that the amount is in collections. I immediately write letters to all 3 bureaus requesting that they remove the mark. A month goes by, and every single one of the bureaus removes the mark, thank God. Another 3 months go by, and by then I get a letter from Sunrise Credit Services in New York again trying to collect on the debt. This is truly unbelievable because it appears that Sequium couldn't verify it, so instead of apologizing and waiving the debt, they just sold it off to another collection agency. I send another certified letter to Sunrise demanding verification, and I get nothing in reply. So far, they've not attempted to put a mark on my credit. That's where this part of the story ends. Who knows what'll happen next? I could file a lawsuit, but the filing fee alone would be more than the amount owed. Here's the thing, I am not cash-strapped. I'm blessed enough that I could easily pay that without making a dent in my budget. I've lost 5 times that amount in hours spent on the phone and writing letters, but I'm determined to go to the mat with AT&T on principle alone. This brings us to the revenge stage. You see, in addition to my day job as an attorney, I'm an elected city councilman in my town. When I was going over our monthly expenses, I noticed that we're paying AT&T close to $6,000 a month for our phone, internet, and TV services. We're a fairly small town, so it was pretty obvious that we were being bent over by these clowns and we could save a ton of money by switching. I started working with our city manager and IT director to finding other solutions. We discovered that by switching to various carriers and providers that we could have saved half. I never looked that closely into our telecom expense had AT&T not jerked me around. 2 weeks ago, the resolution to switch was put on our meeting agenda, and the council voted to pass it. We decided to completely cut ties with AT&T. Our city's saving a ton of money, getting better service, and with the money we saved from switching, we were able to hire another part-time animal shelter employee, which we desperately needed. I highly doubt our city would consider switching if I didn't make such a stink about it. AT&T will end up losing hundreds of thousands over the coming years because of this. I hope it was worth it, AT&T. TLDR, AT&T lied to me 3 times, put false marks on my credit, and made me spend countless hours on the phone and sending letters to fix it. I'm a city councilman and found out that we could save half of our money by switching our services from AT&T, which saved our city thousands and cost AT&T $72K a year per contract. Thanks for the gold, and ultra late hidden edit. We just went into budget session, and it turns out we actually saved $108,000 per year. That doesn't quite sound right, but I'm reading it word for word. Cheat on me, I'll get your child support raised and your car repoed. First, the child support. So I was with my ex-husband for about 10 years. When I first met him, he knocked up his previous girlfriend before meeting me and basically kind of ghosted her. Now reflecting back on what happened, convinced me it was her keeping him away from his kid and that he was just the poor victim in all of it. She had taken him to court, got child support for $324 a month for a while, and then tried to take him back and get it increased because she thought he was working and making more, but it backfired and got reduced to $112 a month. It stayed for like 6 or 7 years, and he actually got behind a couple times just paying this because he'd lose a job here or there. One of the many ways he convinced me to move out of my home state is to his. There's more jobs in his home state, and the cost of living is cheaper. Come 2018, I decided to leave him because he wasn't putting in the effort to find a job that would support both of us while I went to nursing school. I had been working the same full-time federal government job and doing school part-time our entire relationship, supporting us, while he went to school for medical billing and coding and didn't do anything with it once he was done. His excuse is they're outsourcing these jobs to India. He bounced from one job to another for one reason or another. And once it came up for me to actually finally apply to my nursing program, I told him he needed to finally step up. He told me he would, but never said what he was doing. He would come home from work and complain about the work and the people he worked with. He was eventually fired from that job because his boss said he worked way too slow and was delaying orders going out from the company. We also had a bit of a dead bedroom, so that also pushed me to want to leave him. I finally decided to leave, and the ex moved in an ex-roommate a couple of months later. She had lived with us previously because she found out her first husband cheated on her. We had decided to help her get on her feet, and she met her second husband and then moved out. Why is this important? Because after 4 months of me leaving, I found emails with nudes of this ex-roommate that my ex was forwarding to a secret email account I had no clue about. They had been a lot more friendly than I had realized for 4 years. The ex-roommate, who was currently living in our marital home, was separate from her second husband because my ex didn't like him in the house. Granted, I didn't like him either because he was a sleazebag who was also cheating on her, but I digress. My ex even got friendly with his ex-wife. I was wife number 2 and a third person I didn't recognize. Then found out my ex knocked up the roommate 2 months after being official. I didn't get to confront my ex or her with this, other than me writing an email and attaching the photos I now had, but I had to do something else. So I reached out to my ex's girlfriend, who he has his first child with. He's made no effort to be in his kid's life, a source of fights for us here and there, and I tried a few times over the years to reach out to her and establish a relationship between them. My mom has a bigger relationship with the kid she has no relation to than that piece of shit ex. I told her I left him and that he was making way more money at his job and she should file to have it looked at. She did and got it increased to $264 a month. Now for the repo of the car. After I left, he decided to buy a brand new Chevy Equinox for over $32K. I have access to his Credit Karma account, so that's how I know. He works commission-based sales, selling furniture, TVs, and appliances. He doesn't bring home much. He actually opened a credit card through his work, bought $5K worth of stuff to furnish the house, and then let it go to collections. He used my contact info and they called me trying to collect on it. The payments on that new car were about $634 a month. He made 2 payments, then stopped. Now we had bought a house together before I had left, and he finally agreed to sell our marital home after getting behind on the payments and not doing what he needed to keep it. We had over 60% equity in the house, and he decided to use his half of the sale to buy a smaller house, outright instead of paying off his debt. His logic has always been, if I don't have a house or a house payment, the other bills are affordable. Part of the reasoning, he used to bully me into buying our previous house. Either way, I found out his new address, called the company that originated the loan, and updated them with his current info. So hopefully they'll be picking up their car any day now. TLDR, left ex-husband, found out he cheated with an ex-roommate for years, contacted his baby mama to have his child support reevaluated, and had his payment doubted, then reached out to his car loan company and updated his home address so they can repo the car he had defaulted on. Also tried to clarify the second paragraph more since people want to get butthurt and make assumptions. And I pray that if this person does another post, that they get a little bit better at writing because this was a bit of a struggle to get through. Always remember to read through your story before you post it, or else it becomes a painful experience for me. And with that, it's all the time we have for today's r/malicious compliance. If you liked it, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. As always, my name's Ryan, the official host of Reddit Voice, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys in the next video.